Hey, Met fans, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Two for Tuesday after the day fact. Yes, we won a big doubleheader. So, you know what that means? We are now in first place. Can you imagine that? We are in first place. About 24 hours prior to this broadcast, a lot of you were contemplating jumping off the Verrazano Bridge. No need for that. In just 24 hours' time, we are now the first place Mets. We beat our division rival, the Philadelphia Phillies, 2 games. Things are looking good. Two pitchers I'm very high on, Marcus Stroman and Taiwan Walker, came up huge again. And like I said they would, they just had to give us, it was only a 7 inning doubleheaders. They had to give us 5, 6 innings at tops. Walker almost was tired out. He threw a lot of pitches there, so he didn't pitch to complete 5. But they both served the need we needed yesterday. And Jonathan Villar, and that crazy thing we call extra innings now in Major League Baseball 2021, smacked the game-winning hit. And Brandon Nimmo continues to be an on-base percentage machine, and things are looking good. We beat the Phillies, and that's big. Phillies got off to that good start, as you recall. We had a rough time down in Philly, and it's been a wacky year for the Mets so far, with the 3 games in D.C. canceled due to the COVID-19 situation with the Nationals. Then the nasty weather we've had up in New York, Monday night's rain out, and Sunday's debacle with Stroman on the mound, only pitching 7 innings. Well, it looked like he might not be. He was pretty pissed off about what had happened on Sunday, and he was leaning towards just taking his regular turn in rotation, which would have been Friday. But looking ahead, it looks like it's going to be brutally cold in Colorado, and Marcus isn't stupid, and he realized he didn't throw that much on Sunday. Let's get a game in when there's good weather, and he did, and we kind of needed it. And like I said, anytime you go against Aaron Nola, you got to play your A game. We didn't have Jake on the mound, but we had Marcus Stroman, who could be an ace on a lot of teams out there. And like I said, he's going to impress the hell out of me this year because he is playing for a contract. B, he's one of the most confident people in the world. C, he doesn't take shit from anybody. And I think New York was made for him. So I'm actually looking forward to a big year from Marcus Stroman. Like I said, the other guy that impressed the hell out of me, Taiwan Walker. I love this guy. I love Taiwan, and I'm so glad he's on the team. And you know what? Screw Trevor Bauer. We got Taiwan, and that's all we need. And he throws a heavy ball. Like I said, he kind of reminds me of Matt Harvey with his heavy ball, and he did very, very well for us yesterday. And I'm so happy to see that. So things are looking up. The Braves are off to a sluggish start, so they're not the formidable foe we thought they would be. So I'm pretty optimistic about what's going on there in Flushing by the Bay. And like I said, we weren't going to be jumping off the bridge yet. Now, we were Illinois. I know Michael Conforto didn't win. He was from the Met faithful. But the offense is going to slowly come around. We got too many good bats on this team. Too many good bats on this team for this team to have an extensive offensively, and too many good pitchers to have this pitching staff have an extended slump. So Villar had the walk-off single in game 1, and Nimmo, like I said, he just continued to produce 5 times on base in the doubleheader, and you gotta love it. And even Villar said, "I love it when everybody plays together." Before they won the nightcap 4-0, he was interviewed after game 1. So this is a team effort so far. We haven't won when DeGrom's been on the mound, and we're in first place. That is a good sign. So when a Norm returns, I think things are only going to get better. And I keep saying, I told you about Brandon Nimmo, and I told you about Dominic Smith. And I go out on them and tell you that I believe Jacob DeGrom is going to have a good year after all with the wins-loss record. So there you heard it from me. Anyway, Marcus Stroman's Game 2 gem gave the Mets their first 2-game winning streak. He threw only 9 pitches Sunday, and the game was suspended by rain against the Marlins. So he came back Sunday, and that was after he got only 4 hits in 6 innings in Philadelphia. And yesterday he did the same. So great pitching from Marcus Stroman. And even Brandon Nimmo said, We have a real solid lineup, so I definitely think I can fall to the back of people's minds on that. I've been able to take advantage of some mistakes. I've had some decent two-strike hitting, which I try to pride myself in and not do too much. And Brandon, whatever you're doing, it's working, babe. Keep it going. Keep it going. It's such a pleasant surprise seeing you out there every day, getting on base, playing baseball the way it should be played. And don't listen to the critics that say you can't play center field. You are a talented athlete and you can play center field. Now, I know they moved you over to left field in the late innings yesterday. That's a natural thing, I guess, when you got a good defensive replacement out there. But you are a center fielder. Don't let anybody discourage you. And it's going to be so good watching Brandon Nimmo play on a day-to-day basis. Over the fact that he batted eighth on opening day against a lefty. Yeah, we'll learn from that mistake. I'm sure Mr. Rojas, although I'm not sure if Rojas is making the decision on something like that. That could be Sandy, guys upstairs. We don't know. But Nimmo's got to be the leadoff guy. And my boy Dominic Smith, he needs to be in the lineup every day. He is just stroking the ball. He's got a pure natural swing. Like I said in yesterday's YouTube cast, I didn't think Dominic Smith would turn out to be the player he is. So that just goes to show you never give up on these guys. Sort of like Jacob deGrom. No one ever imagined him to be the pitching ace he was. So as long as you're schooled properly in the minor league system and you have talent, there is hope. And like I said, another guy I'm very high on is Ramon Castro. He is just impressing the hell out of me with his ball. Miguel Castro, with the movement on his ball. And again, he came in yesterday, did okay. So I'm very, very, very happy over what had happened yesterday. Jeff McNeil's always been a hitting machine against the Phillies. And he started the rally in the fourth inning yesterday in the second game, and he barely beat out a throw to first. The Phillies challenged the call, but things, you're doing okay when the calls start going your way, and it was upheld on replay, so he was safe. And after Kevin Porter singled, Villar's double gave the Mets a 1-0 lead. So the big offensive star was Villar. He won the game the first game, and then he came through and with a big hit in the second game to put him up 1-0. And even Nimmo said, I could feel the dugout take a kind of sigh of relief that we got a lead and see if we cannot expand on it. My hat is off to Villar for coming through in two big ways today. So that's the kind of player you need when you're kind of down and out like the Mets were. Sluggish start, leaving a lot of men on base. They did leave a lot of men on base yesterday again. But again, I think the law of averages is going to catch up, and they're just going to start hitting like crazy with men on base one of these days and go on a big winning streak, and maybe it'll come sooner than we think. Now, wasn't it funny that Francisco Lindor was the runner put on second base because they brought Trevor May in. I think he replaced Dominic Smith, who would have been a runner on second. Now, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but if it was intentional, that was a brilliant move by Luis Rojas, that's for sure. And I loved it. And hats off to Louis if that wasn't the agenda, because the Mets were struggling at that point. They only had 3 hits in the game entering that inning. It had been 0 for 6 runners in scoring position before Alonso delivered the big hit. Now they were boozing the 6th after Jose Alvarado drilled Michael Conforto with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Now, I guess that's just payback. No, I don't think it was intentional, but now that's getting hit by pitch. When you get hit with a fastball at 100 miles an hour, as opposed to the rinky-dink game-winning hit by pitch that Conforto got the other day. So we'll take him and we can get him. We need Conforto on base, whether he gets hit, walks, strike out, pass ball, whatever it takes. We'll get Conforto on base, and things will take off from there. Now, in the second game, I should say, Segura's infield single with 2 outs in the 6th against Miguel Castro tied at 2-2. And Rhys Hoskins walked leading off the inning, and Bryce Harper single. Castro was on the cusp of escaping unscathed after striking out Alec Boehm and getting Didi Gregorius to hit into a fielder's choice. Segura hit a double to third base and beat Guillermo's throw while Hoskins tied the score. So, crazy, crazy day at Citi Field. How about today, huh? Zach Wheeler Zach is back. Yes, Zach is back. And will Zach, now here, I'm not going to the game. I know there's going to be about 7,000 or 8,000 people at the ballpark today. But how do you think Zach will be greeted? Will he be greeted with cheers? Will he be greeted with jeers? I love Zach. I know with the coupons, he wasn't going to get the contract he deserved. And I kind of like it when Mets play that whole career with the organization. Would have been nice to have Zach stick around. But we'll see what happens tonight. He's now the enemy, so can't wish him too much luck today. So hopefully Dave Peterson pitches his A game, and we're coming right back at him today. And we'll see what transpires there. But it'll be good to see Zach on the mound. Makes the game a little intriguing and a little more appealing. Although every Met game this year, I think, is going to be appealing. We win this one, we automatically win the series, even though it's a day game tomorrow. Tomorrow's day game, did Jacob DeGrom. They better not screw around with DeGrom tomorrow because it's supposed to be a lot of rain in the afternoon. And I think that the Mets may actually call that game since they have to travel to Colorado anyway. And I don't think you want to play yo-yo with Jacob DeGrom in a situation like that tomorrow. Well, that recaps the doubleheader and all the other fun stuff that went with the day. And as we do every day, now we're going to go into this day in Met history. 3 birthdays are celebrated by former Mets today. First one is Mark Bomback, who was born on this date in 1953. Who remembers Bomback? Boom, boom, Bomback. He actually pitched 1 year as his rookie year with the Mets in 1980, and he led the team in wins with 10 wins and a 4.09 ERA. Decent record, 10-8. What's deceiving is Bomback's record in games started by Bomback with 10-15, which isn't too good. And you delve deeper into the statistics. Bomback pitched 162 innings, gave up 191 hits and 49 walks. That's a pretty high whip. It's like 1.4 something, 1.5. And but that was his only year with the Mets, and we got him from the Brewers in exchange for Dwight Bernard in October 26, 79. And it served its purpose for a year, and then the Mets traded him to the Toronto Blue Jays for Charlie Palaio on April 6, 1981. And Mark wore number 36. Another player who's celebrating a birthday, Kyle Farnsworth. Who remembers the fact that Kyle Farnsworth pitched with the Mets? Yeah, he pitched for 19 games, and he was pitching quite often in 2014. He signed as a free agent after playing with the Pirates in 2013, then was cut loose, and then the Astros signed him as a free agent on May 17th. So in those 6 weeks or so, he got into 19 games. But he had a pretty long career. Started with the Cubs in 99, ended with the Astros in 2014. And with the Mets, he wore Hammer and Hank's number 44. Kyle Farnsworth. Happy birthday. And today's the birthday of an active Met, number 40 on your roster and your scorecard, Jacob Barnes. Happy birthday, Jacob. Hope you get a lot of time with the Mets this year. Should be fun having you on the squad. And on this date in Met history, the Reds beat Al Leiter and the Mets 1-0 to establish their new National League mark for not being shut out by an opponent in 2001, scoring their 175th consecutive game. Ironically, the record-breaking contest comes against the last-placed team and pitcher to blank the franchise, a 5-0 defeat at Synergy Field in the playoff game to determine the NL wildcard. So that was a tough one there for the Mets. Al Leiter got a tough one. Got a Jacob DeGrom that day, lost 1-0. In 2006, the Met team store beginning today through April 17th tax deadline, they could have their taxes done free by Gilman Chiochia, the Shea tax team, who will prepare an automatic extension. It's easy for you to say, right? Prepare an automatic extension for those who are not ready to file. And on this day in 1976, the game we're going to highlight today, Dave Kingman on the north side of Chicago launches a home run down the left field line that hits a house, which most people say, after all is said and done, landed 530 feet from home plate. The Cubs, as well as the home, survived the right fielder's blast, defeating the Mets in the Wrigley Field contest 6-5. As I like to do, I like to spotlight all these games. And just to give you a brief rundown, and the lineup for the Mets that day, we had Del Unser leading off, playing center, Felix Millan batting second, John Miller, the Hammer, batting third, left field. Now, Dave Kingman batted sixth, And that was because Ray Burris was already on the mound, and they stacked the middle of the lineup with lefties with Milner batting third and left, Eddie Kranepool batting fourth as a first baseman cleanup, and Wayne Garrett, the Carrot, batting fifth at third base. Jerry Grote, everyone's favorite catcher, batting seventh. Buddy Harrelson, the human vacuum cleaner at short, batting eighth. And Tom Terrific on the mound, pitching for the Mets and batting ninth. Now, Tommy pitched 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Bob Apodaca came in. Robert Apodaca, as who was it? Bob Murphy used to say it. Robert Apodaca. 1 and 1 third inning, 2 hits, 2 runs. Hank Webb came in, 2 hits, 1 run. And Ken Sanders, after the game was already, Mets were already losing, pitched 1 2/3, struck out a batter. Ray Burris started for the Cubs. Now in that game, things didn't go the way we had hoped. Sometimes they never do in that land, do they, folks? The Mets got off to a 2-0 lead, had that lead into the fifth. They took another run on the board and were leading 3-0 going into the bottom of the fifth. Cubs got 2, make it 3-2. Mets answered back with 2 in the top of the sixth, make it 5-2. Cubs got another run in the bottom of the sixth, make it 5-3. Then the Cubs tallied for 3 more in the bottom of the seventh, make it 6-5. So the Cubs ended up winning the ball game 6-5. The big blow was a big hit by Bill Madlock. That was the game-winning hit. The Cub lineup was Rick Monday in center, Jose Cardenal in left, Bill Madlock at third, Jerry Morales in right field, Andre Thornton batting fifth at first, Manny Trillo batting sixth, second base, Steve Swisher batting seventh, Dave Rosario at short, and Ray Burris pitching and batting ninth. So, fun stuff indeed. Fun stuff indeed. So, the big hit, John Milner had a big blow in that game. He had a sacrifice fly, and he got a 2-run single. 1 hit, 3 RBIs. Del Unser 2 for 4, run batted in. And I had mentioned Dave came in with that historic home run. Wayne Garrett got a hit to raise his batting average to 0.059. Jerry Grote got a hit, knocked his average down to 476. So Jerry was off to a good start. With the loss, the Mets went to 2-3, 2 games out, and with the win, the Cubs were 4-1, tied for first with the Pirates, who were 3-0. So that's it on that. And we forgot to do our trivia question of the day. How could I forget? The trivia question of the day. Do you want to know what that is? Okay, we'll tell you what that is. The trivia question for the day is, there are 5 Mets on the current roster who were number 1 draft picks of other teams. Can you name the 5? I'll give you a couple seconds to figure that one out. Okay. Are you locking in your answers? Good. Here are the answers. The 5 Mets who are number 1 draft picks by other teams who are currently on this year's roster are Francisco, do not call me Frankie Lindor, 8th overall, Cleveland's number 1 pick in 2011. Albert Almora Jr., number 1 pick, 6th overall by the Cubs in 2012. Marcus Stroman, one of the heroes of last night. Go, Marcus. Number 1 pick by Toronto, 22nd overall by Toronto in 2012. And the other pitcher for the Mets yesterday, starting pitcher, Taijuan Walker. Number 1 pick, 43rd overall by Seattle in 2010. And then Thor, Noah Syndergaard, who's currently on the 60-day disabled list. He was Toronto's first-round pick in 2010. So there you have it. That's your Met trivia question of the day. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for today. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I really love the fact that so many of you are tuning into these broadcasts. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget, we have a sister podcast also called New York Mets Baseball Way of Life. And if you're not a member of the new Facebook group created, New York Mets Baseball Way of Life, see how it's easy to remember all these things? They're all named the same. Please join that. A lot of good people on there, a lot of good stuff posted every day. So you want Met coverage, you come here. Okay? If you like the podcast, please subscribe to it. Would love to have you. You'll be alerted every day when the new one comes up. Uh, if you liked it, hit like, leave comments. If you ever want to contact me and ask a question, make a suggestion, maybe want to come on one of these broadcasts, please do so at philstan41@gmail.com. So you're probably saying, Phil, that's Philip, Stanley, 41, who's that? That's Tom Seaver, my friends. So it's an easy email address to remember, philstan41@gmail.com. That's it for today. Let's go Mets. And for the first time at Citi Field, we must root against Zach Wheeler. We can give him a hand, but once that national anthem's played, he is the enemy. Let's go Mets. Let's make it 3 in a row. Enjoy your day. Looks like a nice day out there today. And let's enjoy life. So that's it for now. Play ball and let's go Mets.